It all began one day in September. I just turned 13 and I was having dinner with my parents at the kitchen table when a punch landed on my right cheek. Now, it's important to stress that I wanted the punch to land on my right cheek, which is why I turned my head slightly just before Daddy hit me. Daddy was proud of the punch, because he liked to think that he could strike it fast and catch me off guard, but I knew Daddy. I knew all his tricks and punches, and that special tick under his right eye sort of gave him away, announcing the punch. Now, I could have pulled my head back slightly, and he would have missed me completely, but then he might jump over the table and strike a blow to the face, and in the process he might knock over a couple of drinking glasses, and then I'd get the blame, and that could prolong my after-dinner beating up to half an hour. I see, said Daddy. Today we'll take the coat hanger and make it 25 flicks. 25 flicks with a coat hanger, that was nothing. Then I wouldn't have to cry, and it was actually possible not to cry as long as I could just hold my breath. Mummy went into the kitchen to make coffee as usual, and I had to follow Daddy into the bedroom, and he asked me to pull down my pants and bend over. As he lifted his right arm, preparing the first flick, I closed my eyes, clenched my fists, and held my breath. And when it was all over, all that was left was the humiliation. Daddy offered me his hand, and if I didn't take it, I'd get the whole thing all over again. So I took it, and I shook it, and I went, friends again, Daddy? I pulled up my pants, I went into my room, and I lay down on my bed. It actually had been a quite perfect day, because I'd beaten up the lighthouse. There was this guy who was called the Lighthouse because he was much taller, much bigger than the rest of us, and I was forced to take him down. If I hadn't done it, I wouldn't have had my gang anymore. The gang would only obey as long as you were winning. It was that simple. And to be quite honest, I'd known for a very long time that one day the Lighthouse would challenge me. The Lighthouse was the one who collected the money. Anyone at school could take out a loan from the gang, and conditions were simple. 100% interest. Money was to be paid back within 2 days, and the Lighthouse dealt with those who didn't pay on time. At lunch break, I split the profits of the day's money lending business, and I gave the Lighthouse £1, and I asked him to go and get pastry. No way, said the Lighthouse. Why don't you just go and get the pastry yourself? He was just about to raise his arms when I punched him as hard as I could in the stomach. Then he curved his body, and I punched him as hard as I could in the face. Gave him a nosebleed. That was important. The nosebleed, that was really important. And he went down on his knees, and it was over. And I knew that he'd never ever challenged me again. So it actually had been a quite perfect day.